To talk to you about my why I chose direct sales. It's been quite a few years that I have jumped from home to home, had different roommates because I could not afford the rent on my own. I did have a wonderful apartment in a condominium. The Lord actually was really sweet and let me stay there for a very reasonable price while I was in college. Then my landlord got sick with cancer and she had to sell her apartment. So I had to leave. I moved in with a friend who I'd known for quite a few years, even had a key to my home and would stay there when I was away, key to my car. She would borrow it when I would travel. She lost her job, and I had to be out of my living situation fairly quickly than I was ready to do. Again, I couldn't find anything. There was going to be nothing that cheap where I was in New Jersey. She needed help. I needed help. I said, let me move in with you and I will help you with some bills and we can help each other out for a few months until I can find something and you can find a job. Well, that's exactly what I did. I put most of my things in storage. I moved in. We put my bed in her living room and I was giving her money for groceries and some of the other bills. Then one day I came home and all of my things were gone. I had found a room to rent in the next town over, and I had told her that I would be moving out in a month, and I think that it was time for us to part ways. And then come to find out the following day, she was not paying any of the bills, and we were about to be evicted anyways. So it was a good thing that I found a place to live. So I grabbed what was left of my things and moved into this room, and it's by an air mattress. So I lived in a room that had no door because it was all I could afford with this woman who seemed really, really cool. I found out that she was a drunk and she was drinking all the time. And then she didn't have boundaries. She would go into my room because it didn't have a door and things like that. And it was a very, very small room. So I know that I had to get out of that situation. I found another room to rent from this woman. I spoke to her, I spoke to her son. I went and looked at the apartment. It was clean. The room was huge. I couldn't believe what the cost of the rent was with what comes with it. It was like heat, hot water, gas, electric, washer and dryer use. And it was like in the safest neighborhood in Jersey and parking right on the street. And the two roommates seemed cool. Like I wanted my own place, but I couldn't afford it. And I'm okay with living with roommates. It's totally fine. We're all helping each other out, right? Then I decided after 13 years, I no longer wanted to be a nanny because I had worked for a family that did not treat me the best. And I was tired of having to look every year, every 2 years for a new nanny opportunity. So I applied for a group home and I work with disabled adults making minimum wage, and I struggled but thankfully lived renting a room where it wasn't a big deal. But I struggled so much, but I needed more money. So from there I decided I wanted to work with children again because I love children. I applied for a position as a youth counselor in a group home for kids who have trauma. While it paid more, it still left me living paycheck to paycheck. It did have its challenges. I was physically hurt by the children there. And while I was going through all of that at my place of employment, my home environment was getting worse. We had new roommates come in, someone move in who was an alcoholic, who used to come and bang down my door and threaten me in the middle of the night, like when I just got home after a week. And then my other roommate started dating a male who became abusive, and I had to live through that, and that was terrifying. No one should have to experience that or even be around that. I had several conversations with her about it, offered help. She didn't want the help. She kept taking him back. He kept beating her. I can't afford to live anywhere else. I can't afford to move out. one day threw her up against my bedroom door, which cracked my door. And that's when I was like, that's it. You're thinking, how come she didn't call the cops before? Well, I was advised by my landlord and the other people who lived on the first floor in the basement not to call the cops. And I feared for my life. You don't know what someone's capable of. And I just felt like I worked so hard, struggled to pay rent. Why do I have to live through this? I had to live through this because I couldn't afford to move out. The gentleman on the first floor, his mom moved in, and she was a slob and she refused to clean, and the other roommate wasn't cleaning because she was in an abusive relationship. And that apartment was just the most disgusting, unsanitary living condition. Every time I would talk to the landlord, she would tell me I'm too sensitive and not to call the cops for anything. Or, the people in the first ward make me feel like this is real life. Like, this is just how you have to live. That's not how anybody has to live. To have people over, I really couldn't have people over as my roommates were slamming doors in front of people's faces. Along came a business that I'm with, and I was like, wow, it's such like $129. I could totally invest that. And I wouldn't have to carry an inventory, and I could start selling right away, and I could start building a team, and this could maybe be my ticket to help me compensate my full-time job to make that extra money to be able to afford to live on my own. So it helped me get out of that situation. And that is my why, is because I wanted a safe living space. I wanted a home, a clean home, and a peaceful home. And that is my why. So I finally was able to move out. I mean, thanks to this business opportunity. It gave me that extra income that I needed. And I want to work for myself. That is another part of my why. I miss out on so much in life because I can never take the time off. Because of the company I joined, was able to move out. And not only was I able to move out, I was able to move out of New Jersey. I was able to move upstate New York, and now I get to see beautiful trees outside my window. I have a dishwasher. I've never had a dishwasher before. I have a deck that I can decorate in the summer. I have my own space, and it's safe and it's peaceful. My why continues to create this safe space, now to decorate, and that extra income is so helpful. It has been the best decision that I ever made. Please subscribe below and watch my journey and my why. I am pretty sure that there are some of you out there that can relate or are in the same situation. Are you living paycheck to paycheck? Because that was me. And I no longer have to live paycheck to paycheck. I do pay what I need to pay. I enjoy and I shop and I do what I need, and I still have money left over every single week, and I'm not living paycheck to paycheck anymore. That's so huge for me. And your why is the reason that gets you out of bed and gets you motivated. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to share if you feel like someone else can relate to this and someone else has been through this. Please share. Please share with them my story. I hope everyone enjoyed the story of my why.